Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Sports. On day 4, Strydom, the new ALFRED Dunhill champion. He holds his nerve after 19 second place finishes in his professional career. He finally manages to get his second, and it's a big one. 2-year exemption to the DP World Tour. An absolutely incredible day for him, and a really interesting last day of golf. And Ross, we saw the course play about as hard as we kind of expected, and Aukie going in at a 69, which actually gave him a 2-shot win at the end at 18 under. What were your thoughts on the course today?
I definitely think it played harder. It's the hardest it's played all week. I mean, you can tell from the scores, other than Laurie Cantu, who shot 64. I didn't get to watch much of him today, but to do that, so on the golf course that was playing today, he must have played sublime golf, because you didn't see many rounds far under par. I think Louis got 67. I know he was 5 under at a point.
68, yeah.
68. And I think he was up there with one of the lowest. So I definitely think it played a lot harder than it has all week, which was good to see, because the best golfer in the week came out on top.
Yeah, and I think what was quite interesting was we saw some really big couple of charges and stuff like that, but almost as soon as players sort of found momentum, a lot of them found momentum and then dropped back a little bit, and very few players, apart from Laurie Cantu, who, by the way, finished third, 15 under a 64. Everybody else sort of really struggled, and I think we saw players, I think the greens played quite difficult. I think we saw a lot of players not really holding putts that they might have been holding 2 days ago, for example, really tricky pin positions, and it's today I thought they really set it up as a championship course.
I think it's been a championship course all week, but definitely today you saw it showed its teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday we had 63. The day before we had 63. Laurie put in 64 today, which is not far off tying the course record. But I mean, you were watching approaches into greens that weren't holding. Guys weren't getting spin. The runoff was a lot more than we've seen throughout the week, and I think you did see Leopard Creek's teeth today in full force, and showed just how hard of a golf course it actually is, and to get it done. I mean, Scott Jamieson, who shot the new course record on Friday, went into today leading and just didn't feature at all.
Yeah, didn't even make top 8.
Dale Whitnell. I think today you really saw what Leopard Creek's is about.
Yeah, and I think today sort of separated the boys from men type thing. And I think, we followed Dean Burmester a lot today, who ended up shooting a level past 72 to finish 13 under, tied 7. He was basically saying that, as far as he sort of felt, he hadn't hit a bad golf shot all day, and yet couldn't find any birdies, couldn't really make, he went through level, couldn't make any progress on Strydom, who took a while to get going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think today we saw, some of the big players had to sort of stand up. Ollie Becker was playing really well, dropped a few shots towards the end. Louis Oosthuizen did a bit of a charge with the 68, finishing 13 under. But I think it was interesting to see, I said something like Dean Burmester, who said that he didn't play bad golf today, and yet went through level.
And I feel sorry for Burmy. I mean, we watched him today. His shot on 16 is a perfect example. He absolutely flushed the iron shot and just couldn't catch a break. But the wind has been tricky all week. It's been swirling. I mean, we spoke to Neil yesterday, and he said normally the wind here is quite consistent and blows in one direction. But we spoke about it on Wednesday and Thursday when we were here, saying that the wind is swirling.
Yeah.
And you saw a lot of guys changing clubs, not sure. And yeah, today, like Dean on 16, was when we stood there, was straight into the wind. And once he hit it, it was straight downwind, and he emailed the green after what was going to be a really good shot. It was straight at the pin the whole time. And it shows you just how frustrating this game is, because you have those days. He played pretty flawless golf throughout the week, and it's a pity that he had that day today, because if not for that, and if he got the breaks that he could have got, who knows what would have happened. But that's golf, and Strydom just hit jackpot with a breakthrough.
Yeah, let's talk about Strydom, because this is huge for him. He's somebody who's won once on the Sunshine Tour, a lot of second places, came in this week on the back of tying the Blair Athol course record last week. On day 2, equaled the course record. Or day 3 yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, he equaled the course record, and all of a sudden put himself in the mix. And to be honest, very few people actually backed him. I think a lot of people wrote him off and said that he's been in this position before. He's been in that sort of position. He can't really hold his nerve. Holding his nerve, 2-year exemption on the DP World Tour, life changes.
Definitely. You've got a hole, as he said on the 18th green in the prize ceremony. He's got some planning to do for next year, because it was Challenge Tour, trying to get the DP World Tour card, and now you're exempt for 2 years. So life has now got a very different outlook, I think, for Aukie Strydom, and I'm sure he'll enjoy the taste of a cold beer this evening.
Yeah, I mean, pocketing 255,000 euros as well was the prize money. And I think that's, you're looking at the co-sanctioned events, for example, next year, and those would have been events that he would have been eyeing out, as on the Challenge Tour, would have played probably a couple of Sunshine Tour events, and then would have said, let me try and do well on the co-sanction. And you kind of target these events. To come through to win today, you now go home, today you celebrate, tomorrow you sit there and you all of a sudden you're putting up the DP World Tour calendar and you're saying, well, where are we going? And yeah, I mean, it's a completely life-changing event, and it'll be interesting to see. We saw that a year ago, Tristan Strydom winning that Joburg Open.
Tristan Lawrence,
and winning the Joburg Open, and look at the year he's had. So this really could be a trampoline, and somebody who's got, I think it was 45 top 10s, 46 top 10s, 19 second place finishes. You can see he's a very good golfer that's not far away from being a great golfer.
Yeah.
And if he can kind of continue this form and then maybe learn how to win, which today I think will give him a big confidence boost, hopefully he can sort of move into like we've seen Tristan Lawrence do it.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is exactly what he needed to, after 19 second places in your professional career, to then come and win an event this big. I think it'll definitely give him that bit of confidence that he needs. He hasn't had his first and only win came in 2019, so it's been a while since he won. And to do it on this kind of stage, I think will show him that he can do it and that he belongs on the DP World Tour.
Yeah.
And give him a lot of confidence going into next year.
I think winning at a tournament, as you said, I think that whole idea of belonging, but backing yourself. We've seen that a lot with Sunshine Tour players not really backing themselves, not really sort of feeling like they belong here. But I think a winning event, you're now sitting there saying, well, that's winning a European Tour event. So, you do sort of feel about it. So just to wrap up, the final leaderboard, or the top of the final leaderboard, Aukie Strydom coming in at 18 under, Adrian Otegwe with a 16 under, 68 today, looked pretty good as well. Laurie Cantor with a brilliant 64 to finish 15 under. Tied forwards, Ollie Becker, Aaron Cockrell, Brandon Grace, all on 14 under. Your tied 7 is Dean Burmester and Louis Oosthuizen, both finishing on 13 under. It's been a fantastic week here at Leopard Creek. We've really seen some great golf. We've really seen some really tough conditions. We've seen players sweat. It was horribly hot today as well. So we really had to go after hard. Big thank you everybody for coming along on the ride. We will hopefully be back here next year. But until then, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. And we'll see you guys all very soon.